to go after drag shows? How is that going to help people's lives who are thinking about the economy, who are thinking about making sure their kids are going to be safe when they go to school, or their communities are safe? But that's what he wants to focus on. So it's part of a larger pattern from elected officials who espouse freedom and liberty, but apparently think that freedom of speech only extends to people who agree with them.
No. We believe freedom of speech only extends to those of comparable intellectual capacity. In other words, it's not freedom of speech when you're discussing changing to the opposite gender to our 5-year-old girl.
It is clear today that the Republican Party is the party of parents. Not a single Democrat crossed the aisle to vote on behalf of parents and kids across this country.
Seeing this bill pass just confirms the national spotlight is being drawn to this topic. We need to seize on the moment. We need to investigate exactly what is being let in through critical race theory, through programs such as equity, not equality, or equity and inclusion, when really they are excluding American values that have stood the test of time for over 200 years, and somehow it is us to blame for not being pro-First Amendment, for being closed-minded and bigoted, and not allowing students to be who they really are, when really what we're trying to do is protect the youth, the vulnerable minds of our great world, from the influence of those who would rather see them so liberated that they lose sense of any truth. Just to be clear, we're not really a trans person. We want to respect the struggle that trans people go through in the process of becoming who they actually are.
Here today is the Republican Party's attempt to take some of the most heinous legislation that we are seeing passed on the state level to attack our trans and LGBT, as well as people from marginalized communities, right to exist in schools. This flowery language of quote unquote parental rights and freedom hides the sinister fact of this legislative text. If you notice in these arguments, they are not really discussing what is actually in this legislation. It includes 2 provisions that require schools to out trans, non-binary, and LGBT youth, even if it would put said youth in harm's way. This Republican bill is asking the government to force the outing of LGBT people before they are ready. And talking about the rights of parents in this gallery today, the National Parents Union is here saying, don't do this. I have a letter that I'd like to submit where they are asking the Republican Party to keep culture wars out of classrooms. Our children need urgent and aggressive educational solutions. The American Library Association coming out against this Republican proposal. When we talk about progressive values, I can say what my progressive value is, and that is freedom over fascism.
Now you have a governor from Tennessee has decided to go after drag shows. What sense does that make, to go after drag shows? How is that going to help people's lives who are thinking about the economy, who are thinking about making sure their kids are going to be safe when they go to school?